Hi, I just thought we'd explore when seeking ends. So the mind may have a concept of this. It may decide that you can't watch another video or you've failed. Sorry, that's sort of what my mind offered me. If I'm still watching videos, then I've failed. I've not, seeking hasn't come to an end and I've still got more to do. It's just how the mind frames things, how it projects to a future. Once I've stopped seeking, I'll be there. And I think the seeking energy just gradually dies by itself. So it's nothing to worry about, nothing to aim for. But it doesn't mean that you won't watch videos anymore. It doesn't mean you might just enjoy watching or listening or reading to spiritual material just for the sheer enjoyment of it. So don't fix that idea in place and tell yourself off if you're not if you're still seeking, if you're still because if you're enjoying it. So, do you feel expansive when you're just watching a video and you're reading some spiritual material or exploring, even with AI? I know a lot of people use that now just to self-reflect. So, does it feel expansive? Does it feel fun and joyful and light? Or does it feel like it's contracted and you need to get something? It's that urgency. That's the sort of energy maybe to be aware of. I don't, on the journey for life, not for the me, but that's how it feels. For the unique expression. I don't think there's anything wrong with that seeking energy to begin with because it's just seeking a better moment. It's driving you towards happiness. But there comes a point when we realize that seeking outside of ourselves, that drive to find something, it's not fulfilling in the end, all that seeking, but it has a purpose because that's where we turn around and look at what's looking. That's where we recognize we are the wisdom we've been looking for, this infinite being that has the potential to experience itself through consciousness. And it can experience itself through wisdom and bliss. I'm just using the koshas here as a framework. And that's the expansiveness. The seeking is the denser energy. There's a me that's got to get something, that I'm not complete. It's based in that. It's based in I'm separate and I need to become whole. Whereas the expansiveness is I'm already whole, already okay, but I get to experience. And this I is the universal I. So the wisdom isn't gained and held on to, it's just spontaneously there in the moment, just appearing. The bliss isn't, or the joy of being, just being and rested in what you are, rested as what you are, is just available. So it's uncaused, just what appears from being, how we can experience ourselves from being. So that's why it's effortless being. It's not somebody going to being and trying to be effortless. It's relaxing that idea of a somebody going to being and just being itself, prior to concepts of being. It's no effort to be. So we pick up the I that needs to get to being and can't get away from. It's just that little story that of density, really. Our identification with density, personalizing the denser modes. So there can be thoughts appearing based in a me identity, and that's okay because you're the space. You're the formless awareness that's aware of the thoughts. So we don't have to pick them up. There can be an emotion. You can identify, the intellect can identify it as anger. But there is an awareness of the anger prior to adopting, I'm angry. So we just seem to walk home really to recognize we never left home. When we cease adopting the denser modes, identifying with the denser modes, personalizing the denser modes, we can rest as effortless beings. And this sense of an individual I just dissolves naturally by itself. So we're talking about seeking. So that seeking energy is not something that the I is going to get rid of. The I is going to suddenly be liberated from because it's just seeing through that individual denser mode that was experienced with the grasping outside of ourselves isn't who we are. What we are is totally free and already whole and complete. So I would offer the best thing to do. It isn't actually a doing, It's a matter of identification with the denser modes, just relaxes into the recognition that we never were that denser mode. We never were those experiences of density, of personalization. It's just how life can experience itself, but we were only ever formless, experiencing form, never becoming form. So it feels like we're in a becoming, we're in the field of experience, identified as something that's going to become something, something that's going to gain something. So it sort of solidifies this idea that there's something missing. We've got to search for it. But when we just rest as what we already are, it's revealed in just being, effortlessly being. Not somebody who's going to being and they're going to wait in being and they're going to get it. No, that's still identification with lack and limitation. So the denser modes are based in limitation. The wisdom and bliss, uncaused, are based in already okay, already enough, wholeness. So I hope that helps in terms of seeking energy, those denser modes, or even just the denser modes identification. But if you find the video helpful, please do like, subscribe to the channel and share. Or even make a comment if, because I enjoy reading the comments and it can actually be a helpful reflection for myself. Yeah, so thanks for watching and I do appreciate you.